welcome to LexTalk, World Talk Show presented by Avid Creators. Today we have Nishant Prasad with us. Nishant completed his law degree from NALSAR University of Law, Hyderabad in 2015 and started his career with one of the largest law firms in India, which is Khaitan Co, as a private equity and M&A lawyer at their Mumbai office. Nishant now is a part of a small community of young Indian lawyers who have achieved great success and have risen to a position of leading the legal practice of a company in such a short span of time. Nishant also has a passion for travel. He is also an avid sports enthusiast, and on any given day in his spare time, you will find him actively involved in the game of cricket, golf, or badminton. Right now, he's working with Scripbox, and he has been heading the legal and compliance team for past 3.5 years, three and a half years. And he also has a deep understanding and expertise in laws and regulations governing wealth management in India, and has immense experience in tackling critical legal issues in the sector, especially related to robo-advisory and digital wealth management services, which are the key business propositions of Scripbox. Nishant also regularly advises on various general corporate actions and regulatory, also including strategic decisions for Scripbox. Without any further ado, let me just introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Nishant. How are you?
Hi, Bharti. How are you doing?
I am absolutely amazing. Thank you for asking. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, Nishant. As I've already said a lot about you, but it would be great if you can also throw light on your journey as a legal professional.
Sure. So I think it's honestly been still a short journey so far. It's not been a very long one. As you said, I graduated from NALSAR Hyderabad in 2015. I was, placed from campus. I started my career at Khaitan Co in Bombay, which was a great experience, and I think was absolutely important to as stepping stones to my career, and to the amount of success, or probably a little bit of success, which I have today. Great mentors, great colleagues, and that's basically where I learned how to be a proper lawyer post law school. And then I decided to sort of just do a little bit change up, wanted to try something different, and came off to Bangalore from Bombay and started working for Scripbox. That's where we are at right now for the past 3.5 years.
Thank you so much, Nishant, for throwing light on your journey as a legal professional. So tell us more about Scripbox. Like, what is the company's mission? Any relevant facts and figures that you would like to talk about, and how is it making an impact in its local, regional, or the national economy to its consumers?
Sure, thanks, Bharti. I think Scripbox is a company which has been a pioneer in the digital wealth management space. We are probably one of the first few people in the country to bring about a simplified, or launching a business model which brought about simplified investing to the customers of India. And the idea behind Scripbox essentially was to simplify wealth management for people and help them on a journey to financial freedom. So we not only provide a digital platform for you to transact and invest easily. We also offer you unbiased recommendations. We also educate and inform customers so that it enables them to achieve their investor or financial goals, at any life stage. So depending on what your objectives are, what your goals are, Scripbox helps you reach that goal with simple advice, jargon-free, through a digital platform. So it's easy to access by anybody, right? Which was a sort of lacking feature in the Indian economy, when we started back in 2012. So that was like one of the major mainstays of Scripbox, and what we do. Today, we manage over around 4,200 crores of wealth for customers across 2,500 cities and towns. And we have around 7,200 customers who are rupee millionaires. So that is something we are very proud of, that we have assisted our customers from starting small. We've had customers who started with us in 2012-13 with a 500 rupee SIP or 1,000 rupee investment. And today they are millionaires, because they've stayed with us. We've helped them. They've given us the support, trusted us, and we both have grown. The customers have grown with us, and we have grown with our customers. And the growth with our customers is one important aspect which we do. We started off as a pure, simple platform to assist people to invest in mutual funds. Today, and especially in the past year, we are focused on, understanding our growing customers' needs, our existing customers' needs. As the customer has grown, they have had more requirements, more products which they wanted, more sort of solutions which they wanted. So our last year has, and with COVID, has essentially actually gone in a lot of strategic investment of time and efforts into building, capabilities for these new financial products, if you may, right? And we've added to our list of products. We have insurance, we have international stocks, we have domestic stocks. I know we are going to be, integrating with other partners soon for multiple other financial products. So that impetus has really helped us to understand from, getting an understanding from customers, and we've actually grown around 3x since the last year in terms of wealth being managed. So it's been a good year in terms of, understanding the customer and for us to evolving our platform to what the customer needs. And, that's what Scriptbox is all about. We try to listen to the customer and provide them with the solution that they need.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Of course, your journey with Scriptbox and, how Scriptbox has grown with the period of time. So it's absolutely amazing and inspiring at the same time.
Okay.
Now, as a full stack wealth manager planning to introduce a range of products and services, do you foresee any regulatory challenges moving forward, Nishant?
So Bharti, of course, there will be maybe challenges, may not be the right word, but in terms of, complexities of providing all those solutions to customers, because products, financial products in India are regulated by a multiplicity of regulators. You have the SEBI coming in, which is the major securities regulator. You have insurance products being regulated by IRDAI. You have national pension scheme being regulated by the Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority. And of course, you have RBI for, your general banking products, which are available. So each regulator has their own set of requirements, own set of processes, own set of compliances for each product to be offered, which is being regulated by them. And there is an interplay operating here between offering all these products to our customers. And we have to ensure that each regulator's processes and compliances are satisfied. So I think that is the major challenge to, number one, understand the requirements of each regulator for each product. And secondly, how do we enable it, especially in a digital environment like Scriptbox, right? Most of the regulators, some of the challenges we face, don't really have a chartered plan for a digital platform. They are evolving as we also grow. The regulators are also coming up with new actions to, maybe assist us, do our business. But all things are not black and white. A lot of things are gray, and we sort of have to go with the intent of the law and, make sure that we are meeting the requirements of the regulator for that product when we offer it online, right? So I think the challenge is twofold. One is to make sure that we are compliant with all the different requirements between the different regulators. And number two, that on a digital platform, how we, enforce those compliances. So these are the two major challenges which are there, which we are doing well so far. We've figured out ways. We've spoken to regulators. We've had conversations with them to ensure that we're doing the right thing. We have something called the Scriptbox way, which is always doing right by the customer, being one of the major principles, and that of course involves being absolutely compliant with law. So while it is challenging, we make sure that we are always on the right side of the law at all times.
Thank you so much for sharing insights about this, Nishant. Also, I am really interested to know about any complex legal issue that you might have worked on. Only, of course, if it is, if you are comfortable sharing about it, and if you would like to describe the complexity of the matter and how you approached it.
Sure. I think there's one very interesting sort of issue or maybe strategy actually, which we have, which required a lot of thought process, which is integrating with a lot of offline independent financial advisors. So what I mean by that is, we are a digital wealth management platform, and we, believe in offering digital access to financial freedom in India. But we still have in India a lot of people who are on the traditional mode of investment and advisory or wealth management, where you have offline advisors. People still send checks to their advisors. Someone goes and delivers it to an AMC office, buys a mutual fund. You'll be surprised to know that that is still a very large part of Indian wealth management today. So what we thought to do is that, it would be beneficial for the customer, it will be beneficial for the person who is doing the offline wealth management, and beneficial for us if we all integrate our, powers together. Because, the offline IFAs have a great human touch with investors. They have great customer relations. They know their customers for years. They know, and that is the form of information which is absolutely valuable for a wealth manager, to know your customer very well, to know what their needs are, and that is something which maybe sometimes a digital platform sort of lacks in some way or another. The human touch. Although at Scripbox, we do a hybrid model of both a human touch and the digital platform to ensure that we are covering all gaps. But an integration between these two is a very solid proposition, or a great proposition for an investor, right? So we thought of trying to do this, and ask around, assess whether it's something which offline advisors would be interested in, and we found a lot of interest, and we started this process. But it was something which was fairly new as a concept in India, as to in terms of integrating the assets managed by those advisors, and them coming on board with us. In terms of the actual, what we have for distribution is something called an ARN number for mutual fund distribution. So it was an integration between two of these licenses, and all the customers had to be mapped to each other. While it's a fairly simple statement saying it, it's quite a complex issue at the back end. And actually, the AMCs, asset management companies which are involved in this process, who are to assist us to make sure this mapping is done, remapping, if you say, is to be done, was, they were really not aware of how to do this, because it was not done before, or may have not been done much before. So the awareness of this kind of transaction or structure was not there, and we had to sort of build it from scratch. So we did some research. We found a circular which had some basic processes, provided there. And probably we were one of the very first ones to initiate the process under that circular. I can't obviously say for sure that we were the first, but definitely one of the first few to do it. And we had to liaise with the AMCs, with other channel partners, to ensure that all those processes are in place. There are a lot of operational work which goes behind this integration, paperwork which has gone behind this integration, which had to be developed in collaboration with the AMCs together. So we actually sat down with a bunch of partners, and we decided, okay, that this is the documentation you would need. We sat with the compliance teams, we set out and charted a process. And now it's a fairly standard process. We've done it a couple of times. We intend to have these integrations in the future, and it's become very smooth for us. But at the initial stage, it was quite complex to have all partners on board with a standardized process, building that process, charting it out, and making sure that there are no hiccups in the actual operational transfers. So I think that was one complex issue which was there. And yeah, it was fun post when we actually managed to do it. In the duration, I can't say it was probably a lot of fun to do it, but it was a lot of effort. But yeah, once we actually did it, it was something which we take a pat on the back for ourselves to chart out that process for us.
Thank you very much for sharing your views. And actually I was really interested to know more details about it, but I understand. Now, Nishant, in this era of legal technology, of course,
right.
What are the most commonly used tools for you?
So I think in terms of legal tools, there are another factor which sort of takes the attention is the size of the company and your actual requirements as a team. So for example, one major tool which is available today for lawyers and legal teams around the world is the contract management system. Very basic, but very important, right? We don't use one yet, but we are growing now, and we are seeing the need to maybe engage a system to make sure that we have contract management in place. It usually helps us during diligences, fundraising in the future, all those aspects, because then the standard question over there will be to give them a copy of the contracts, and pulling them out from any manual based system is quite a task. And the contract management systems help you a lot. So I think that's one of the most commonly used tools, which probably every organization will slowly move towards in the future. Another aspect is probably digitization of a lot of your legal work. Like we actually have a platform where we digitize our ESOP management system, ESOP being employee stock options. So, a standard general offline process would involve printing out your ESOP documentation, taking signatures on them, having one copy to the employee, having one copy to us. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of waste of resources and time for somebody who's doing it. So we have a complete digital system of managing ESOPs and granting of ESOPs, and it also gives a digital tracker to our employees, giving great transparency to them as to how the company is doing, how their incentives are working. It's completely online. We don't even touch a scratch of paper in that process. It's all digital contracts. And when I say digital contracts, that is of course one of the major legal tools, especially past year in COVID, when physical signatures, physical contracts were not possible, and everyone had to adapt to an e-contract system. Otherwise, business cannot stop because you can't get out of your office, right? So e-contracts, digital signatures have seen great impetus in the last year. So I think, slowly we are moving towards digitization of a lot of legal tasks, which are, usually taken manually. And it will definitely help, in saving a lot of time for lawyers, right? That is one of the key components, and also reducing any manual or clerical errors that can happen. It's human. We are all humans. Errors can happen. It sort of eliminates that aspect. So I think time and accuracy are two aspects which legal tools today help lawyers with.
Thank you so much for sharing the tools that you guys are using, and thank you for being like really honest that there's still things that you guys are doing and you're working on, and we wish you all the very best, to you of course, and to Scriptbox for coming this far, and obviously a lot of success is coming your way.
Thank you so much.
Before I let you go, Nishant, I just wanted to ask you about time management. I mean, time obviously is money in any profession, and in legal, it's most of all. So, how do you ensure that you make the most of it? As a lawyer, also, and I mean, I would like to know, like, how do you balance it?
So I think there are two ways I sort of look at time. You on a personal level and at a business level. At a personal level, when I say personal level, it means that as a lawyer, you need to have, and as any individual, in fact, in any profession, mental health is something which is very talked about today, and is really important. And it's good to see that people are recognizing the importance of mental health today. Lawyers, investment bankers, these are professions with sort of heavy schedule, a lot of deadlines, a lot of transactions to be done, a lot of paperwork. So it's essential to sort of maybe switch off for some time, give yourself a break, and come back to work in terms of personal time. And which is what I mean, the way I practice it is that you have to be efficient during your work hours, and you take the time off in the evening when you get off work. Just log off, give yourself a good evening's rest. Give yourself a weekend, give yourself a vacation. I think these are very important because, and in fact, they'll probably increase the productivity of anybody, right? So that balance is something which is very individualistic. It depends on the person, it depends from person to person. But the stigma that you need to sit in office through an entire day, sit for 48 hours, I've done that before. It seriously, I think I function way better now when I give myself a break, right? So I guess that is something which is very individual to individual based. From a business perspective, time management is, if you ask anyone about a legal team in a company, or you ask anyone about lawyers in a law firm, they'll be like, oh my God, they're going to take so much time. They're going to negotiate. They're going to argue on this one point for 5 days. That sort of association of delay with lawyers needs to go. And, there's a reason why it is there. But I believe that you have to, especially in the counsel side of things, law firms, obviously you are way more involved in documentation directly, but as a counsel of a company, you want things to get done, you want transactions to get done. So it's very important to be a business enabler rather than a business blocker. So, let's say we come up tomorrow that, we have to launch X product on our platform. I cannot come back and say that the regulations don't allow me to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is probably what a general lawyer, if you go for advice, will go and tell you. As a company counsel, I have to tell them the law says I have to keep in mind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can do 6 and 7 to make sure that I can offer that product. So I have to come up with a solution, right? And I think in general, lawyers need to start moving towards that zone where we enable transactions more, try and come up with solutions rather than just asking a business that you can't do X, Y, and Z. But you also have to be firm. You can't be easy. If there's some things which are not allowed, they're just not allowed. And personally, I can say, in my company, there have been 1 or 2 products which people have wanted to put on the platform, and it's been a strict no. It's not permitted. It's not permitted, right? So you can't be that easy, but you have to sort of give solutions and make sure that if something can be done, then you can do it and well in time. So yeah, I guess in terms of time management, these 2 aspects and balancing both is something which probably should be done and will depend from person to person as to how they manage it for themselves.
Thank you so much, Nishant. You have shared like everything in the best way possible, and I'm very sure that viewers are going to learn a lot from this video.
Thanks so much.
Forward. Thank you. The pleasure is all ours. We're really looking forward to having a chat with you again on some other trending topics in the legal space and to know more about Scripbox at the same time. But till then, thank you so much once again. It was a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you so much, Bharti. It was a pleasure of mine as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Nishant, please like and share this video. And do not forget to subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Nishant Prasad. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.